Hello, everybody, and welcome to OCRS regular season finale. We got St. Clair Saints versus McGill University. My name is Nicholas Kermit Malash. Beside me, we got Dan Banner, also known as Danners. How are you?
Doing quite well, Nick. I hope you're doing well as well, because we have ourselves a bit of an interesting one here tonight. And I'm not just saying that just to try and hype up a match like I normally do on broadcast, but we actually have ourselves quite this little stipulation here. I'm going to actually not even waste any time. We're going to hop right into the standings, because this is going to be a big portion of what determines this end of season setup. As you can see right here, right now, we have 3 teams all at 5-1. St. Clair still hanging on to the lead, because other than the loss to University of Waterloo, which went to Game 5, when we lost to Waterloo to Game 5, the Saints have not lost a single game in all of their victories. They've always been 3-0s. So in terms of game difference for the tiebreaker, we're currently sitting in first. However, University of Windsor, they're a little bit behind. University of Waterloo, they're right on our heels, of course, as well. And they do have the head-to-head on us if the additional tiebreaker stipulation happens. And then to make things even that much more interesting, we both play McGill University tonight.
Yeah, if you're Saints, you definitely want to sweep like you've been doing all season. But again, McGill can surprise people. They're sitting at a 3-2 record, and if I'm not mistaken, it's 11-6. So their games are pretty solid. It's definitely going to be a great matchup. And I mean, PD Golfers right behind us, University of Waterloo, they're sitting at a 17-5, and we're 17-3. So I mean, if we push Game 5, we don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. So it's definitely going to be interesting, and I'm excited.
Absolutely. One of those scenarios where if McGill gives us a run for their money, but then Waterloo or the PD Golfers just all of a sudden crush them, we could have ourselves another tiebreaker scenario based off of record and game differential, and then of course they'd have the head-to-head. And you can't count out the University of Windsor as well, sitting there in third place with 5 wins for themselves as well and 1 loss. If all of a sudden, like, something absolutely out of the blue happens and University of Windsor has themselves a victory and McGill just absolutely pops off tonight and takes us both out, that would be a heck of an upset, and to be fair, like a pretty sick start for the varsity team over at the University of Windsor.
Yeah, that definitely would be something. I mean, University of Windsor is going up against University of Ottawa A, so that's going to be a little bit of a tougher. That's a tough matchup, and they're a great squad. So, I mean, anything can happen. A huge upset could. I mean, look at Wednesday night. Unfortunately, we did not get to cast that, but again, your Saints beat Akron Zips in 5 games. That was a huge surprise. They're a great team, and they're at the top. So
yeah, past
beating
champions.
them, past champions too. So that puts a little bit more confidence into this Rocket League team. But again, you can't. Some teams are better than others, obviously, but some teams pull big upsets, and I wouldn't be surprised if McGill pulls something out of here.
Yeah, like if we were looking down, like, not the trash on any institutions, but like say if we were going up against Queens tonight, and then we were like worried about some sort of upset, like sitting there 0-5, it's like, okay, I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch. However, the likelihood of the upset happening isn't very likely. However, with McGill being literally dead center here in this group, going up against us and then the PD Golfers or U Waterloo right after, I think this squad is just good enough to actually like have an opportunity, if not taking us out, but possibly either or tonight. So going to be interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, if you're St. Clair, you definitely want, what everybody wants is a sweep, but I can't see that happening. And I mean, with later on tonight, it's going to be something interesting. I wish we could cast everything, but unfortunately we can't. But tomorrow's the tournament, so
Oh
or the
yeah,
playoff.
yeah. This is just
So
a
that's gonna
start
be
of an absolute gigantic weekend here for the Rocket League squad, whether it be in the Bell Esports Challenge or in the CCA's Wild Card, which is something that we're going to be taking a look at here with this exact same team with the St. Clair Saints Green squad, and not only a opportunity to try and get into the main CCA Open division or in the main CCA playoffs if they can get themselves far enough, because they just have to make it into the top 8. However, it's single elimination. You can't screw up at all. So they really need to come off swinging here. I know that's for tomorrow, but they really need to get the ball rolling here so that they're firing on all cylinders tomorrow.
Yeah, it's definitely one thing that's puts a little more pressure. Is you make one mistake, your whole tournament's over, and unfortunately, with Rocket League, it's like that. So, I mean, that again, that's tomorrow. Right now, we got
Mhm.
McGill University.
And one,
That's
sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna say this is gonna be a close match. I'm gonna say four or five games.
And it's one thing they have to kind of worry about as well. We kind of seen it happen a little bit last weekend where the Saint squads were so busy that I don't know, like, I think you were watching the AVGL finals with us last weekend, but it didn't even look like the same rosters by the end of that tournament, considering they were trying to play in 2 different events, and those were long days. It like people rip on gaming that it's a it's not something that like takes like proper focus and energy. Like, oh, you're just gaming, right? It's like, no, you're genuinely winded at the end of some of these evenings where you just want to go to bed and have a good coma for 12 hours. Like, it can be a hard grind. There's a reason why with the WoW guys always got the stereotype of all-nighters and then passing out for a couple days on end, right? Because it's just, regardless of which game you're playing, such a binge like that is absolutely killer.
Yeah, even casting, man. I was
Oh
ready.
yeah.
I was ready for bed. I was casting. I'm like, we got off, and I'm like, oh, I think I'm gonna go take a nap. Unfortunately, I didn't, but I think I slept for 12, 13 hours, so that's all right. But again, I give props to these guys who game, especially for varsity. That's a whole other level. Trying to get yourself out there, trying to go, even try to go pro, get signed to a team or something. So it takes a lot, and I give props to these diets, everything.
Absolutely. Now, without further ado, we will be hopping into the arena very, very shortly. Everybody loading on in. We're going to get to see our first game of the night here. McGill University has arrived. So, without further ado, we will get into the match in just a brief moment. Of course, exciting to start off this exciting weekend of Rocket League action. Start things off here with the OCRS season finale. It's about to get heated up, even though the match might not necessarily be close on paper. It has massive stipulations for the playoffs. So without further ado, here we go. Saints on the orange. We have McGill in the blue. Let's get it on.
Yeah, for McGill, we do have Lucky, Bat Moose, and I believe Dale, if I'm not mistaken. And then for your Saints, you know the team. Kamal, Nitrix, Ramen. That's such a great lineup, and hoping they can do a little something here. But again, not putting it through McGill to come up with an upset.
Yeah, of course, it was Batmoose who was being labeled as the substitute here for McGill, so may not necessarily be the main specific roster here, but I'm sure Batmoose has been training up here with the rest of the squad nonetheless. As we see a bit of a back and forth to start things off here, and Lucky's already getting a little feisty here. Gonna take the bumper to Kamal and send him off the field for a minute.
Yeah, if these teams go back and watch VODs from the Saints from this channel, they'll understand. I said it multiple times last Saturday during the tournament, saying you have to be physical, you have to get demos against the Saints, and you know there's stuff that you have to do, and there was a chance there for McGill, but Saints coming up big with a save, and Batmoose again gonna try and get this into the zone and get some pressure on as they are keeping the offensive pressure, and Saints clear it.
Yeah, at least once it gets to the skies, it looks like Saints feel pretty comfortable. But in this, like not too high up into the air, but like just barely off the ground kind of play, right now McGill seems to be kind of in control of this. We see Lucky now taking it alongside, looks to actually get it out of here, but Kamal centering pass. Shot is going to go wide in this case here. Brian waiting to try and make the save. Lucky's going to go up the challenge. Good challenge there. And finally a nice little clear there from Batmoose. Again, that seems to be kind of his job here today. He is just constantly just trying to get that ball out of there at whatever the cost. Huge shot actually coming out here from Ramen after the setup from Kamal, and Saints are going to get on the board nice and early here. Not even halfway through this game. Kamal passes on over. Ramen right there and puts it in the top right corner. What a shot, what a goal to start off game one.
From casting last year and now this, well, last semester and even through here, Kamal has gotten so much better with controlling the ball, mechanically better, and his ball control is just on the next level compared to everybody else. He's just on a whole other level, and I think it's really worked out for this team. And I mean, working with Nitrix and Ramen, very, very talented players. So I think Saints do have a good roster going into the school year there in September. But again, Kamal has definitely been getting better as McGill gets a shot here, but Ramen makes the save and clears it.
He's just going to dance right in the sky for just a little bit longer here, but that was a nice power clear right back into the Saints zone. Pop fly ball into the crease, but it is going to be pushed aside. A little bit of a double whiff here. Lucky looking for that lucky bounce, actually. Did maybe try and get himself towards the net, get a free center off the wall. Opts to get the demo instead, so a 3-on-2 push now into the Saints zone. Ramen trying to control it. A little bit awkward, but a couple whiffs here. A couple reads maybe going awry. Brian nearly found himself that one-timer, but does not go into his favor. Still kind of stuck in the corner, but Kamal going to shut it down for a second.
McGill right now is tearing up the offensive pressure. They keep getting the shots as he gets an open net here. Lucky is gonna tie the game, and this is exactly what I mean. We're down to under 2 minutes left, and it's a tie game. It is a close matchup. So going here, this is still anybody's game, and McGill finally gets what they came for, a goal.
Well then, I guess if you've been watching long enough, you're going to understand why I'm doing this. This match is close on paper, this match is close on paper, this match is close on paper. We'll have to see how this one ends up going, because right now, yeah, McGill is absolutely fighting through this. Very, very strong so far. Keeping right up there with the Saints, showing that they may be middle of the pack, but they can still fight with you, regardless of where you are in the rankings. Saints going to try and answer one back rather quickly. Minute 30 still on the clock. We got a little bit of a back and forth, but not very threatening as of right now. Nitrix going to get stopped, and now one more centering attempt. Actually, Kamal the shot off the crossbar, though. Now Bry going to get the clear.
The Saints make it look, as I say this, I'm going to take a break. A shot just over. Another shot. That's going to be top. Batmoose is going to put McGill in the lead with 1:10 left.
You could only save so many shots, and the crossbar sure got the one. And I think we saw Nitrix up in the skies. He was ready for that initial shot, but once he got off the crossbar, he was already midair. He did not have any extra boost to really try and make that secondary save. So Batmoose, coming from that striker position, up high in the top of the crease, able to get the McGill University squad their first lead here in this game, and starting off the series strong with a minute left to go.
Definitely looking better as they get another shot here, but that's going to be just high, and Kamal's going to make sure that doesn't happen. But Bry going to try and get something. Nitrix, now Saints on the offensive push, but man, you got 40 seconds left. Saints need something. Kamal gets a flip reset, but Lucky's there to make sure it doesn't go, and wins 150-50. That's going to be deeper in the Saints' end, and Lucky's going to try and center this.
30 seconds left to go. We see Kamal up there. Nitrix is sitting there. There is no offside, of course, in Rocket League. If you find yourself on the other side of the field and it comes at you, you can absolutely take the shot, even if it feels like cherry picking. But the positioning in the pass was just not quite there. 15 seconds left to go. Batmoose on the charge, but Nitrix, that was a good clear. We're going into the McGill zone. Centering pass. A bit of a lopsided shot. Up for the spike. Not going to happen. Finishing shot. Kamal misses. Nitrix, one more attempt. Can the Saints keep this ball up in the air? Otherwise, that's going to be game. Huge shot there from Batmoose to then finish the job. This is getting interesting. McGill up one.
McGill played better than what I was expecting right off the bat. I mean, they come out here and throw 5 shots on, but not even that. I mean, 6 shots, but I mean, the offensive pressure alone was just enough to make Saints stand on their heels and, put them back on their back legs. And I mean, you score 1 goal, and then you throw a couple more shots, and then you score a second goal to give yourself the lead. If they keep playing like this, man, they are looking good, and they're going to cause an upset.
And at this rate, too, it was kind of scary because, yeah, the shots were 6 and 6 on both ends. However, it felt like that was kind of stuck in the Saints zone for a lot of the time, but at the same time, McGill just wasn't necessarily finding any sort of finishing shot of sorts. But then right near the very end, they really started to turn it up, and they were absolutely terrifying. And now Saints, that's one loss already. So right now, if I'm the PD Golfers, if I'm University of Waterloo watching this, it's like, yes, okay, that could be our chance. That being said, though, Kamal wants to stop this right here, right now. Got to get the Saints on the board extremely quickly in true Saints fashion, under 10 seconds. Just going to absolutely beam it right into the dead center of the net.
If you're the Saints, I think this helps out a little. You know, you just lost game 1, so you within 10 seconds of the second game, you score a goal. Now, if you're the Saints, you're going to try and put a cushion on there, but again, you can't commit too much, and you can't put too much pressure because McGill's one of those teams that will turn that around, and that was a close chance, but Bry with a save there, and you know, gonna try some here. Gets it over one defender off the backboard, but Kamal's there to and make sure it goes in the corner. But again, the offensive pressure, McGill's reading everything and just not good. As I say that, that's off the crossbar. Nitrix, man, they are getting close, trying to put one away, but McGill.
Huge shot. Oh my goodness there. Nitrix, last second, going to be able to get a piece of that one, and now he's going to try and lead the charge into the McGill University zone. Centering pass is going to get picked up by Lucky. However, Kamal, interception, brings it right back in. Spiked down by Ramen, going to be stopped by Batmoose. The sub on the side of McGill is absolutely clutching it up here already in these last couple of games. And we're just even getting started here, so I look forward to seeing more out of Batmoose here.
Yeah, Batmoose looks good on the defensive end, and I mean, maybe that's his job. Maybe that's his job for this game or something. And even like midfield clears and all that, he's getting good contact on the ball. So as Bry tries to redirect that, try to get some going, and Angu trying to do attempt, but Kamal gonna drag this in, gonna get a shot on goal and put the Saints up by 2.
Gosh, he found his opening and he just took it for himself. He's seen nobody else up in the skies and he knew, just put it up high, nobody could catch me. Beautifully done there from Kamal to spot that opportunity and just take it and run with it.
Yeah, he did get that flip reset, which I didn't know if it would register or not, but he did get all 4 tires on the ball, which is, those goals are, when you hit ones that are like really good, they look so nice.
It definitely feels good moment to pull off something as mechanically intensive as that, especially with how unpredictable the ball could sometimes be when you're trying to dribble it, but nonetheless just goes to show how crazy Kamal and the rest of all these players, to be fair, are, as we see Kamal going to barely make the save, really running it through the crease to just try and get it out of dodge. Then we're back to a little bit of a tennis match here. Batmoose going into the crease, but Nitrix is right there to stop that and put it aside.
Yeah, it's really back and forth game, a little bit a part of this, and I mean, McGill needs to score a goal. I would say pretty soon. You don't want to be a minute and a half. You don't want to get down to that minute and a half mark down by 2, but I mean, they've had their opportunities. Just the defense from the Saints have been a little bit better this game, but again, it just takes one goal, and then next thing you know, you could tie the game. So they definitely need to score one here, as they do have a little bit more offensive pressure. That's going to drop in front of the net, but Kamal's there to clear it out. Gets another flip reset, but can't do anything with it.
Oh, that was a nice little centering attempt there. Ramen was there, however, Bry was there first. And now McGill have it right back into the St. Clair zone. Lots of members of McGill actually above the center line there. Batmoose is there to contest it and at least keep it safe for now. Bry now up to the skies, just kind of holding it up there, but it's going to end up teeing it off here for Nitrix. Tries a drag race versus Lucky, but Lucky is just going to absolutely clear that. That would have been on target had that not been messed with, so good on Kamal to push that one aside. Now Nitrix right back into the corner here. Bry carrying it up right on target once again. Kamal going to push it aside. There's this very long driven shots that the defense have been able to so far at least answer, but it's still extremely scary. Another attempt. Nitrix with the save. This game is still anybody's, even though it's a 2-goal game.
Yeah, the offensive pressure McGill's putting on right now has been really good. They just haven't been able to find the opportunities. As every time they get a chance, Kamal or, I mean, Ramen's there to clear it, and Again, they definitely need something here. They have a minute left to score 2 goals. This is not looking good for game number 2 for McGill, but again, if they score one really quick, they got a chance here.
Here's the opportunity, actually. Lucky, basically on and alone. Never mind, Nitrix drag races in and makes sure to at least get a piece of that. Lucky not to, please. Going to take Ramen down with that. And then this way that McGill is playing, just the constant pressure, the constant shots, this is the kind of stuff that I get scared about for the Saints, because usually whenever you see them playing strictly defensive, that's when, for better or for worse, they kind of choke it up a little bit. They want to be the ones getting all the shots on target and just constantly camp the ball on the other side of the field and the opposing side. But they've had to defend for so long today. That being said, though, a much better performance here in game number 2. They're looking like they're going to be able to hang on to this unless McGill could pull off the miracle, but it does not look like that is going to be the case. It's ticking on down, and it is going to be Saints for game number 2, tying the series up at 1.
Yeah, McGill, even though they did lose by 2 here, well, I should wait for. Even though they did lose here, they looked really good and just didn't get the opportunities. They had some, but again, some amazing saves by. I mean, Nitrix had probably the key save there that could have changed the game. As I say that, Pride's going to put it away, so they only lost this game by 1. It gives them a little bit of momentum going into game 3. Try to get things back to how game 1 was. And man, maybe that's all they needed right there. Even though they did lose, maybe that's the last goal they needed.
And then low-key, the goal going onto Bry was probably a best-case scenario there for the side of McGill, because I feel like other than defensively, because defensively Bry has been doing fine, but offensively, like, I've not seen Bry like at all this entire series so far. It's been majority a mixture of Lucky and Batmoose. So getting it onto the guy who may have been, or the player that was feeling maybe a little bit cold, all of a sudden game 3, it's like, you know what, that was a pretty sick goal to finish things off. I can do this again. I know what I got to do, and that's still scary.
Yeah, that's definitely, I mean, we will see. I mean, we're tied at 1 apiece, so, and now it turns into like a best of 3, so you win the next 2 games, the series is yours. So, I mean, if you're the Saints, again, you're looking at that standings and you're wanting to win the next 2 games, try to get as big of a lead as you can, but it's going to be close because McGill is putting up a fight, and a better fight than what I was expecting, and I think they'll push game 5.
Yeah, absolutely. And the worst case scenario that could happen for the Saints in the situation, obviously, is dropping the series. But the second worst thing that could happen is if they get pushed into forcing a game 5. Because if that happens, that means Waterloo and us are both tied up at, I think it's 17 and 5. And then Waterloo has the head-to-head in that situation, which then means that Waterloo would just have to get a 3-0 onto McGill to get themselves first seed here in this group stage. One way or another, at least, all these teams are going to playoffs anyway. But you want to obviously have that best possible scenario, that best possible seeding, as we see Nitrix find himself a good shot, but Bry with an evenizer save.
Yeah, Batmoose is going to make a good clear. He tries to center this, but that's going to be Ramen not letting that go. And, I mean, Lucky back at it again, trying to get something started for McGill. Almost had that there, and, man, McGill, they're looking really good. Every time St. Clair tries to clear it or clears it, it's right back in their end. Normally, it's the opposite. Normally, every time the opponent tries to get in the Saints' end, it's just cleared in Saints. And Saints have offensive pressure, but this is a little different than what we're used to. And I don't know if we're just lucky because we have really good teams or whatnot. But again, McGill is looking good and gonna try and get something here, open net, but nobody's there to take advantage.
Yeah, there was no striker for the Saints that time by, so they were not quite able to capitalize on that very brief 3-on-2 scenario. And honestly, that could have been the goal there from McGill a couple moments ago. We've seen it before where teams would try to dive bomb the goalie right before the ball comes through. Ramen has a breakaway, but the ball just does not stay on his bumper. Just outruns him ever so slightly. Kamal blasts it off the crossbar. Rebound going to be saved. Lucky going to keep that one aside. And you were saying a couple moments ago, I don't know if this is just having 2 teams go at it or if the Saints are a little bit off. McGill seems to be one of the few teams so far that I've seen in the OCRS that aren't like the top 2 teams that understand the backboard. Like every single time Saints go for it, somebody is answering it one way or another. It may not necessarily be cleanly, but somebody is always there. And to be completely fair, that is essentially the meat and potatoes of the Saints offense. So it just feels like it's just constantly being denied over and over again, and McGill's just looking extremely good as they take him to the Saints zone.
Yeah, that's definitely, it happened quite a bit during the second half of that tournament on Sunday, or the playoffs, that we didn't get to broadcast that because I think AVGL did, but they had it. So, but if you watched any of those games, that's, the opponents took that backboard away and they couldn't do anything. They just couldn't make any opportunities. So I think that's a downfall from the Saints, as Lucky almost puts it away, and a big save from the Saints and sends it out front, but nobody there to take advantage.
2 minutes left to go. This still does not have any scoring in the slightest. I was essentially memeing earlier when I said this game was going to be close on paper, but holy smokes, I love being wrong, and McGill are doing an absolute fantastic job here keeping up with the Saints green squad as Rahman comes in for the spike, but Bry is there, and he did not jump early. Beautifully done to keep his composure and make the save, because that was a fast shot there, and that would not have been stopped if you're already up in the skies. Could not get down fast enough, so beautifully done there from Bry as he now takes it into the Saints' end, but Nitrix going to deny him.
Definitely looking good, as that's going to go off the backboard, trying to start something, trying to score a goal. We're in that 1-goal game range. Next goal wins, or right in there. But again, this is intense. This is going back to game 1, and man, I don't know who that was from the Saints, but that was almost a goal. Gonna get the double tap here. Rahman's gonna put it away.
Holy smokes, did not expect that in the slightest, but we've seen, I know Jay on the Gold Squad loves this angle. Rahman apparently has been warming up and practicing that one too. Beautifully done, tucks it in under the crossbar, and that is a 1-goal game. Can the Saints hang on for another minute, or will McGill tie this right back up?
Yeah, we will see how that goes. There's just under a minute remaining, and here's going to be another shot on goal, and Rahman's just going to kick that off the corner, try to get something started, but Batmoose gets a demo. Could start something. Bry's going to center that over to Lucky. And just a little bit wide, but it's still in there. Nobody's there. Lucky scores and ties the game with 40 seconds left.
Bry just absolutely set that one up in the midfield, and then Lucky right off the backboard off of a missed clearing attempt there from the Saints. Now all of a sudden within 20 seconds we have 2 goals after going 4 minutes with absolutely nothing. This game 3 is absolutely looking nuts, and we still have possibly an overtime on top of this if we can't find ourselves one more Hail Mary sudden death kind of goal. We'll have to see, as now Saints are kind of put on the pressure here. On target, Lucky though, lobbing it up. Can Bry get a piece of this? He got messed up a little bit. That being said, going towards the Saints net. Can somebody get a rebound? Not going to happen. Nitrix is going to push it aside.
I said at minute 23, we're in the 1-goal winner range. And man, am I wrong. We are tied at 1-1 with 5 seconds left. This is in front of McGill's net as he gets the one flick.
It's dangerous.
It. Bry's going to go up for it. Going to be a 50-50, going to drop down, and we're going overtime.
All right, good job to quickly deny that, stop any sort of momentum, because McGill was absolutely charging the net there in that scenario. But now the pressure is on, of course. Saints do not want to have to go to Game 5 like we were discussing earlier. They want to end this series in 3-1 fashion, or at least go into Game 4 with the lead in this scenario. But this McGill squad have been absolutely full of surprises, but it's just going to take one to finish this one. The centering pass does not quite find its mark. Now Bry on the charge.
Nitrix almost gets that touch. Lucky gets around Kamal, but not through the last defender there, and that's going to be a center a little bit high and trying to do something. Rahman redirects that towards the net, but not fast enough, and Batmoose gets the clear as it is mid. Gets it over one. Lucky's there to make sure it goes a little bit deeper into the Saints' end.
Here it comes.
Bry doing the same thing, trying to get it into Saints' end, trying to take game 3.
That's a center.
That's going to be a center, but Kamal gets that shot on net, but Bry's there to make a save, and I mean, it's a close game, and I don't know what more you can ask for. Game 3 gets the flip reset.
Okay.
Kamal can't do anything.
You know what? Just throw yourself at it. Just try to get this ball out of the zone as fast as possible. I don't care if it takes 2. I don't care if it takes 3. Just get it out of the crease was the plan of action there for the McGill squad, and they are not going to be punished for it as of yet. But that being said, still a bit of a drag race. Centering pass. Bry has this one, though. Not going to let it hit the ground. Nitrix was absolutely lurking, ready to spike it if necessary. But now Nitrix and Ramen on the attack once again. Low center, not going to be the case there. Batmoose again just pushing it aside every single time and allowing for the rest of his teammates to kind of get a push on as we're back into the St. Clair zone. Ramen going to try and clear, but it's a bit of a soft one.
You said last game that Bry hasn't really been around in the offense, and man, he is just firing shots off as Batmoose almost gives up a goal. But again, McGill coming out again, trying to get something going.
Ramen missed.
Looking for something. Lucky gonna get a shot off the backboard here. That's gonna be an open net. Bry just sends it wide of the net. Still got control of it. Trying to get something. Has a flip in, but cannot get it. Moose tries to center that, but again, can't do it. Saints try to get something started. Maybe they can take it.
Holy smoke. Saints going to take a play out of the book as well. Just start throwing 2 players at the save just to try and make it happen. But this has been absolutely insane. 2 minutes and 30 seconds currently passed here in this overtime session. Everybody is feeling the nerves here. I'm shaking here, and I'm not even a player in this situation. I can only imagine how both of these teams are feeling on the field right here, right now. So we see Batmoose, a bit of an awkward pass, but Bry is at least going to make it so it's not punished. But that is a lot of boost expended just to try and cover up somebody's mistake. Saints now on the counterattack. Bry got taken down. This could be the start of something.
Bry got the respawn in and gets a shot on goal, and Ramen makes a big save. McGill trying to get something started, trying to score a goal, trying to pull an upset. Batmoose trying. He's been really good on the offensive breaks. That's going to be a shot on net, but Lucky's there to make the save. Nitric gets a demo. Ramen wins that 50-50, but again, Bry's there to win it. Going to be wide. Nobody's there. St. Clair.
And good thing they moved up to make that save. That was definitely Nitrix coming on the headhunt, and we're looking for a possible spike. Shot on target, off the post again. On both sides, we are seeing the walls and the post just absolutely coming clutch. And we're going almost onto 4 minutes into this overtime. We've basically played Game 4 already at this point. It's just constantly back and forth with both teams having themselves their fair share of chances. Ramen now in the skies to Nitrix off the backboard. Somebody there. Kamal is there, but he can't necessarily find a shot opportunity. Nitrix low on boost. Going to have to just dump it into the corner. Nothing going to happen. Ramen going to trade here with Lucky. Lucky gets the better of that one. Bry tries to clear it. Here comes Kamal once again. One more time. That was going to be an absolutely deadly bounce, but good defense on the side of McGill to stop that from going any further.
Saints have momentum as they get a shot on goal, but Lucky is there to make a save. And now McGill's gonna try and get something started. I felt like I've said that 100 times, but I mean we might reach 5-minute mark because that's just wide of the net. Ramen just missed it. And McGill trying. Defense is everything right now for McGill, and Bry gonna slow this down, get it over one, but the second guy is there, and Batmoose gonna recenter this. Bry's gonna pass it over. That's gonna be a shot on goal, and Boozmouse is gonna take it.
That was absolutely incredible.
Almost a full game in overtime, and Batmouse takes it in 4 minutes, just under 5 minutes. That is insane, and McGill's looking for a upset.
Oh my goodness, that may not have been a hard shot in regards to the speed, but that was so tricky to try and deal with, and I absolutely love it that the side of McGill, like, he made the pass off the backboard, and pass just lobs up. He's still in the sky from his first one, and still manages to get just enough to make the play. Absolutely incredible stuff. And I tell you what, I was not expecting this game to be this good here when we saw the stats here tonight, and I am so happy that we are getting an absolute banger here. We have Game 4 scenario, and the pressure's on now for the Saints Green squad. We've been rather spoiled over the past couple of weeks here in the OCRS, thinking that we were like without question the top dogs of the way that we were playing overall, but a lot of these teams, the later this summer has gone on, they're definitely showing their stuff. McGill definitely one of them as well, putting the Saints on the hot seat looking for the upset victory like you were saying. And what a way to start it. Lucky from Bry to get things started here in game number 4.
Bry has just, ever since game 2, game 3, he has been something else, setting up these passes, getting these opportunities, and man, it's been putting McGill to another level. And oh man, I really hope we don't see an overtime that again, but almost a kick-off goal for Bry. And I mean, McGill is looking mint. They are looking great. And the upset's 1 game away.
It's definitely within their grasp. As we see Lucky again taking another shot. Batmoose going to keep this in. Lucky not quite going to get there in time. Going all the way into the Saints zone now. Off the backboard. Kamal and Nitrix are up there. Nitrix sends it forward. Not quite. Going to find it, but Ramen bringing this right back in. Good little bump there from Bry. Just to send it right back up. Ramen, can you hit that angle again? He does, but it's a bit of a slow ball towards the crease this time by. And it's going to allow Lucky to make the play. Fakes it out. Goes for the center. He had Batmoose right there, but a huge save from Kamal to get that with 2v1.
Oh my, this McGill squad is looking a lot like the Saints. As I say that, that's going to be an open net. And Ramen's going to tie it 1 minute and 3 seconds in. I mean, I don't know what more you want to ask for. It can't get any closer than this.
That's a textbook one there for St. Clair, right off the backboard, and gets a shot off. Unfortunately there for Lucky, was not quite in position. He boosted everything he could to try and get there in time, but was just out of reach. It's a rare mistake here coming up from McGill, because they basically had that setup number for pretty much the entire day, and something might be slipping. Kamal is going to find another one here to put the Saints in the lead here for game number 4 after Ramen, again, off the corner this time, and just finds the right front fender of Kamal, puts it on in, and now Saints have themselves a lead, but how long can they hang on to it?
Definitely, that last game, you're technically playing in game 5 right now. And
with the way that overtime was, yeah.
Yeah, with the way that overtime was, you're technically playing game 5, and I mean, it takes a lot of energy, especially, I mean, the regular time, the regular 5 minutes is a lot of pressure, and then you add overtime, and each minute in overtime adds more pressure, every shot, every save. It's just keeps adding more tension, and you just want it over. And McGill did that as a shot here, not really a shot, but Ramen just had a little floater almost going in, but Lucky trying to redirect this towards the net a little bit higher.
Slow ball.
Oh, slow ball, but I thought they had a chance there to tie this game.
Very, very close there. Batmoose tried to finish it off as well, but not quite going to find it. But they're still stuck here in the St. Clair zone. Unfortunate collision coming out here from the McGill squad. Going to give Nitrix a little bit of breathing room. That is a clear. Nobody currently back. Bry the first one back, actually. Here comes Batmoose as well. But everybody converging to the crease. Drop shot into the crease. And Kamal's not going to let that slide. He's going to find himself his second goal of this game. Give the Saints that 2-goal lead. Get themselves a little bit of a cushion to go into game 5, unless McGill can get themselves back into this one.
Ramen touched it just a little, not even a little. That was a perfect amount of touch just for Kamal to get there. And I mean, they're up by 2, and McGill has some coming back to do. They definitely need to score fairly quickly. As I said last time when they were down by 2. They don't want to wait till that minute 30 mark, and I mean, unfortunately, they did lose that game. So hopefully, they can get something started, and you never know, maybe another OT.
I was going to say the only game that they dropped was a 1-goal game, but granted, like I said, it was at the very end, and Lucky is going to get the job started early, getting his second goal of game number 4 after the pass from Bry. A nice little slowdown just to center it, and just absolutely drills it right into the net. Beautifully done here. Simple but effective coming out here from McGill University, keeping themselves within 1. And this is still anybody's game. Don't want to call it just yet.
You definitely can't call it just yet. I mean, they're only down by 1 with 2 minutes remaining. You definitely, as they get a shot on goal, but definitely don't want to do anything yet. And I mean, 1 goal is 1 goal, 1 shot, anything can change. We've seen it in game number 2 where they lost, but I mean, they put it in the net with 0 seconds left. So if it comes down to that, they still have that option. But I don't think you don't want to do that. You definitely want to tie it up early and, you know, take the lead here.
Absolutely. Now with 1 minute 30 so left to go, We're in the McGill zone. Batmoose lobs it down for Lucky. Lucky pop fly ball. Ramen is going to be able to get it, but doesn't exactly get a whole heck of a lot of pressure onto it. But Kamal is right there to receive the pass. Possible centering attempt is going to be stopped by Batmoose, bringing it into the Saints zone for himself, trying to challenge Nitrix and Ramen. Ramen gets a piece, but Lucky is up there to center right back through. Centering pass, going to get stopped by Kamal, and he's going to drag race right here. He's going to slow it down. Batmoose makes his move, but it was the correct one. Makes the save. We know Kamal loves to snap some axles, but he's not quite going to fall for that one. Beautifully done, McGill.
Yeah, it's almost like soccer as they get a shot on net, and Kamal makes a clutch save there. And I was gonna say, like soccer, if you watch the penalty kicks there in the gold medal game, it's just as Batmoose gets a shot on goal and ties the game. I don't know.
The double commit.
The double commit messed up Kamal and messed up both of them, and they get a wide open net. They get themselves a miracle goal, as you don't expect that often. But what I was saying is, if you watch the gold medal game, it went into extra kicks, and you have to guess before basically they even kicked. So that's kind of what that shot was. And oh man, they got lucky there, as that's a shot on goal, but a big save by Bry.
I mean, it may have been an open net, but at the end of the day, it had to be capitalized by somebody, as Batmoose was, of course, right there to make that shot and tie this game up. 20 seconds now left on the clock. Nitrix looking to get something started here for the Saints. Puts it into the corner, but nobody's challenging right now. It's actually nice and quiet. Batmoose felt like he had all the time in the world to get something going here. Bry now in the Saints zone as the time is ticking down. 5 seconds left to go. One more possible play from either side. Bit of a grounded ball. And there's a demo. 2-on-1 opportunity here for the Saints. Ramen's shot is going to hit the backboard, and that would have been it. Nitrix had the shot, but it hit the ground. Not going to count. It's going to be the second overtime in a row.
That's a little salt on the wound. It touched the ground just before going in the net. So now it's just reset, and you hope to start something here. But McGill starting off strong with the offensive pressure, trying to get, trying to take this series now. It's definitely something, especially you have the series on the line, and I don't know, against the Saints, it's got to be huge momentum, a huge boost of momentum for them.
Absolutely be devastating here if the Saints do end up dropping it, of course, because if it does end up becoming a tie situation, we have the loss. We lose that first place seed, and I know they definitely want that. Knowing the squad that they have, that was kind of like their unofficial goal there for the season. They want to take their group, but McGill definitely going to make them work for it here as the Saints in the zone looking for the overtime winner. Nitrix up in the skies, but Lucky going to push it aside. Ramen going to keep it on it. He has enough boost. Can he make the play himself? He looks for the flip reset, but he's only going to get the backboard. Is somebody going to be able to answer? Kamal is, but he's late. Here comes Lucky to Batmoose. Batmoose drag racing here with Nitrix, but Nitrix is going to get there just in time to push this one aside as it goes right back into the McGill zone.
Yeah, that was kind of like an iffy, and that's a huge demo for the Saints against Lucky. But one miss, and a big save by Batmoose. And, I mean, overtime continues as we're a minute and a half in here. And Saints trying to start something. That 50-50 was pretty even. Nobody won that one. Lucky trying to get this out of the zone. Gets a flip reset. Can't connect with the ball, and Saints are going to clear that.
Oh, I know these players want to get fancy, but is this the time and place for it? I'm not quite sure. We're seeing lots of flip reset attempts, some successful, some just unfortunately not finding the juice necessary. Centering pass does get challenged here. It's coming right back into the Saints' crease, but Nitrix is there to stop it, but Batmoose at least keeps it alongside the wall. Lucky in his own zone has it controlled for a second. Nitrix, however, with the interception. Can somebody get it? That was Ramen coming in hot, but he's not going to be able to get a contact on it. Kamal completely misses. 2-on-1 scenario here for McGill, but good job, Nitrix, to send that right back downfield.
Yeah, that was a huge save. If that pass was a little bit faster, I think that would have been in the back of the net, but Saints are trying to do something. Bry with a big clear. Nobody's out front. He's going to get an opportunity here, but they got back just in time, and Batmoose keeping it in the St. Clair end, and the rotations from McGill right now is on point. Keep making sure that they always have somebody back, and I mean Batmoose trying to gets it over one defender, slowing it down, gets it over, almost. Got it over Kamal. Almost, and I mean Saints cleared again, but just like that, McGill is back on it, trying to get a flip reset. Not the time to get too fancy. 3 minutes into overtime.
I mean, even if he had a little bit of extra juice on that just to send it to the backboard, that very well could have turned into a scoring opportunity if it got past the Saints player, but it's not going to be the case this time by. Bry looking for a tipper. In fact, not quite going to find it at all. Neither of the players on that corner are going to find it. Kamal going to try and bring it back. We've seen Batmoose again. Defensively amazing, offensively successful as well. Just been absolutely clutch. How the heck is this guy the sub on this McGill University roster? I can only imagine what either one or two things. Either Bat's just been absolutely amazing this season, as we've seen here in this game, or what would this team be like with Annihilator? But of course, that's a thought for another day, as we still have quite the series up in arms here. McGill, even if they drop this, they're A-okay. They want to obviously get this one done right here, right now. However, loose ball still in the corner, but it's a bit, you can see both these teams are kind of gassed. It's really looking slow now.
Yeah, they're definitely slowing up, but I mean, again, McGill wins, they take the series. Saints win, they push game 7.
It's open!
As they get a shot, but it's just over the net. I was
Breakaway.
joking around when
Never
I
mind.
game 7 there, but they would push game 5 as they're 4 1/4 into this game. Into this overtime.
4 minutes, 20 seconds, and these guys are just absolutely killing it here so far. Just constant shot after shot, or at least corner pressure consistently. Kamal from his own crease, a solid shot. They can't challenge a backboard, and the Saints are going to push this to game 5 after Kamal scores himself a hat trick.
That is, I mean, each team had their chances, and I mean, McGill got blessed with a goal with a double commit there from Saints in regulation, but we're going to see game 5. That's exactly what Saints need, and I mean, it's still anybody's game, and to see almost 5-minute overtimes, this is still anybody's game, and I can't imagine. I don't know who to take right now.
Absolutely. You know, like, of course, in terms of seeding, we would think this would have been a whole different game. I know I made the comment a little bit earlier that I was not expecting this game to be anywhere near as close as it is here today. Like, to compare, this McGill University squad, they're at this like same ranking level as, say, a team like Ottawa, which the Ottawa A team, which the Saints did 3-0. Yet this McGill squad coming out of nowhere, forcing Saints to push this into a game 5 scenario one more time. It might as well be game 7 at this point, considering the amount of overtime minutes we've had to play here tonight. But we are absolutely getting our money's worth here on Twitch.
Oh yeah, this is, if there's one game you want to tune into, it's definitely this one. Overtime, game 5, 5-minute overtimes. I don't know what more you can ask for. Bry almost gets a shot on goal, and trying to center this, that's going to be cleared by Ramen.
Yeah, this one's probably going to go down as one of the most criminally underviewed matchups of all time. But again, who could have expected that McGill would be fighting the Saints as hard as they are right here, right now? As we see Batmoose looking for the centering attempts, Bry in the corner with it now. Can he redirect for a shot? He had the opportunity. Nitrix going to put it aside, however. But now it's going to go all the way up to Kamal. Lucky again. Just going to get himself involved here. He's going to try and push this past Nitrix. Nitrix not going to allow that. But then who else but Batmoose to start things up again for McGill?
Yeah, McGill, I mean, they had game 4 where, if we win, they had a little bit of barrier either. But now it's do or die for both teams. You're in game 5. It's definitely a lot more pressure, and I don't think they want to see another overtime. They're going to be dreaming about that, especially now that, I mean, McGill goes up against Ottawa next, so later on tonight, so that's going to be something else. But again, it's really a back and forth game right now. Bry is going to try and get it off the backboard. Going to send it to himself.
Rebound.
Can't get there, and lucky. It's in the front. Batmoose is going to put it away to give McGill a 1-0 lead, almost 2 minutes in.
The sub coming in clutch once again off of the post. Nobody home. The Saints made themselves in the position for the first 2 saves, but eventually you just run out of positioning, and that was perfect timing there for Batmoose. Puts McGill up on the lead, and Saints, they have to be sweating right now, but at the same time, I don't know which position you would rather be in. Would you rather be the team who's on the verge of making the upset and probably shaking in your boots, or being on the team that's about to get upsetted and just absolutely sweating bullets? Like, either way, I do not envy these guys or girls in the slightest. The bicycle kick from Kamal, though, going to tie this one out.
Yeah, with a little help there from Ramen, I believe it was. Yeah,
Boost.
got a little bit of help there, but we're tied up at 1 apiece. 2 minutes and 10 seconds in. I mean, I've been saying this. It can't get any closer. Batmoose is just unreal, and when I was looking at the rosters and him having sub, I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good, but he is probably got to be one of the MVPs tonight. And I mean, he is just playing great as Saints get an opportunity here. Ramen gets a shot in the demo, adds a little bit of oomph to something, but Bry gonna win that 50-50, not gonna win that 50-50, and Saints almost had a chance to take the lead.
Gosh, anytime you see the ball get pinched through the net like that, it's always extremely terrifying, because I even think about it hitting a defender's car, maybe going back in. Anything could happen when the ball's going at such high speed. Bry, though, speaking of a high-speed shot, that's actually going to go in off the corner of the post. Crosses the line just barely. Beautiful job from Bry to capitalize on this scenario, which is crazy. Kamal's back in the net. Nitrix is back there as well, but I don't think any of them were expecting that shot to be threatening, and now their series is threatened. McGill University in position to cause the upset once again with 2 minutes left to go.
Yeah, this game just seems like it's taking forever. I couldn't imagine what both teams are feeling right now. It's definitely intense for each of them. Nitrix gonna try and center that. Doesn't really get the touch that they wanted, but it's still gonna be centered. And McGill, just like that, they're gonna try and make an offensive push here. Gonna try and get some, but Kamal can't hit it, can't clear it. Kind of a back and forth game, and that's going towards McGill's net, and Ramen can't really connect as he controls it. Nitrix gonna try and do something. That's gonna be passed over to Lucky and can't make the shot. Saints need something here. You're getting down to a minute left, 60 seconds left, and
there it is.
As I say that, Ramen puts it away, and it ties the game with 1:15.
Kermit, you said this couldn't get any closer, but how do you like the thought of a Game 5 overtime for possibly the first seed of the group? That's what it looks like we're getting here.
Going into tonight, I was like, oh, it's probably going to be a 3-0 or a 4-1 game. I was not expecting this at all. And, I mean, I love when I'm wrong. And to see this team perform like this against the Saints is just amazing. As that's going to be on the line, and Ramen's going to put that away with 55 seconds left.
Finds his second goal of the game. Nitrix, the slow ball hits the post, but at least Ramen's right there to capitalize on all the defenders already making their move. Extremely close once again. We've seen McGill in these last-minute comeback scenarios, and to be fair, they've actually been not too bad at it. We'll have to see if they can pull the rabbit out of the hat one more time here for game number 5 to bring it into overtime, starting off with Batmoose trying to get some pressure on.
Yeah, we've seen it in game 2 where they scored in 0 seconds left, and we've seen it before. Here it is, the flip reset, misses the flip reset, but that's going to be Batmoose with a shot, and big save by Nitrix, and Saints are going to clear this. But Lucky gets it over one, trying to get a little more boost. Going to try and center that. That's going to be
loose.
A demo. Net! Rye's going to put it away, and it is a tied game. Just like that, for the 3rd time.
Bry, I think, is going to get this one. Sure enough, beautifully done. Ramen had the demo, but it was not on the goal shooter, and that is absolutely crazy. We have ourselves a tied game once again with just under 15 seconds left to go. Holy smokes. Can we find one more in these last 10 seconds, or are we going to have ourselves our 3rd overtime of the entire series?
Oh man, I don't know. We're coming down. It's gonna be as long as the ball touches the air, as it does, it's
There it
going to
goes.
bounce and it's going to hit the ground. The last time we seen it, it was 4 minutes and 15 seconds. The first time we seen it, it was 4 minutes and 48 seconds. So maybe we're in for the long haul, or maybe it's going to be quick. I don't know, but it's anybody's game.
That's stat tracking though. Let's go. But yeah, these overtimes, yeah, we've seen plenty of overtimes, and they've not been quick ones. So again, how worn are these players at this point? As we see bad moves, so how clutch that would have been. But Ramen was right there to make the save, just going to shut that one down. But he still has control. He got past one, loose ball in the crease, but Bry can't quite get a hold of it. You see him flipping. He wanted to get that shot, wanted to get that tip, but he's not going to be able this time by. Going to be right back into the McGill zone, but Moose is going to send it right back in. That being said, so is Kamal. And we've seen him, he clutched it up. He has one hat trick on tonight as well. Would love to add one more to that goal counter here to clutch up the game winners. We see Ramen putting it in the front, but it's going to go too far. Cleared out once again. McGill, redirect. Oh my God, it's on target. Bry successfully completes the upset with a hat trick. Beautiful angle, beautiful pass from Lucky, and there was absolutely nothing lucky about that. Dead center of the net, successful upset of the Saints. McGill University absolutely coming in clutch here tonight.
I think I hear the crowd. MVP. MVP. I think I hear that in the background, but oh my. I was not expecting that redirect from the roof, and the upset coming from McGill. That is huge for the standings and going into the playoffs. I mean, this has to have so much momentum going against the University of Ottawa A tonight. I don't know. That's going to be a close game. If they put up a fight like this, I don't know what to expect. We could see an upset, a second one.
Something just came across my mind, and I'm hoping that it's not set up like this, because normally if it obviously all depends on what happens with the PD golfers, or what happens with the University of Waterloo, or Windsor even later on tonight, depending on what goes down. Because McGill, they're going to be running hot off of this, so they're going to go on and take PD golfers. And so let's just say, give the situation, say PD golfers do end up taking it, and they're going to take first seed. In this situation, I'm trying to think of how many teams make it to playoffs, but I can see the way this is seeded now, because first seeds usually never play each other until you start getting the semifinals. Right now, Saints Gold is first seed by a long shot. Does this possibly make it so that both of our Saints have to play each other in OCRS playoffs way earlier than we would have to expect? Like, I feel like that's a possibility. Of course, a bracket isn't made. OCRS, we're still technically in the regular season, but I feel like this is going to be something that we have to worry about. Or just not even the Saints in general. You might have to go up against some team like Durham College now, way earlier than you would want to. And of course, that's another CCA team. That's another extremely strong roster. McGill, while not necessarily fighting for the top spots, just absolutely did some damage to the standings.
Oh yeah, and I mean they were sitting at 11-6 before this. So taking these 3 games, that's going to move them to 14 and 8. So if they pull an upset and maybe sweep Ottawa, this could really be a different standings by the end of the night. It could be, and depending on the other games too, like if the PD Golfers or University of Windsor, if they both get swept, not sure who they play, but if some upsets happen, this could go in the favor of McGill.
Absolutely, they're in position to possibly get themselves at least into the top 4, possibly top 3, depending on what goes on. But I know I'm definitely, because of course these standings here are prior to the matches happening here tonight. So Saints now is going to be sitting there at 5-2, which means for the University of Waterloo, they just have to beat McGill to secure that first place seed. Or if McGill even causes the upsets, even if McGill, or no, not if McGill takes it to game 5, because that'd still be a similar situation in regards to the differential. Trying to do game quick maps here on the spot is not necessarily coming up strong here for me here tonight. But holy smokes. Again, I mean, we've said it many a time, but that we were definitely not expecting this one here tonight. An absolute treat from both teams. GG's all around. That was an absolutely fantastic series. How often do you get to see 3 overtimes? And not only 3 overtimes, but 3 overtimes that actually kind of went pretty long. Both these teams are absolutely gassed. And I feel bad for McGill, considering they have to play another one after this.
Yeah, it's definitely not I don't know if it's not what you want, but I mean, you go eat some apples or something, get hydrated, and then get ready for your next game. Is I'm not sure when that is for them, but again, it's your Saints are going to be sitting at 19-8, I do believe, or 19-6, I do believe, finishing the regular season. So, um, it's definitely going to be close. It's going to be close in the standings, but again, who knows? Some upsets could happen, and you never know.
Yeah. Now, of course, nonetheless, we will see our Saints in the playoffs. We're happy to be there in the first place, of course. But, of course, we're definitely aiming for the top of the group, aiming for the top of the seed. And honestly, again, just one more time, big props to McGill for such a fantastic matchup here today. And I also just want to send off a couple thank yous prior to throwing this over to our schedule and seeing what we got coming up next in the next couple of days. Of course, big thank you to everybody tuning in. I know this is probably going to be one of the most criminally underviewed matches in Saints history, giving the quality. But that being said, that's why we keep the VODs, right? So, of course, if you want to make sure you catch everything, make sure you're followed here on the Saints Gaming CA Twitch channel. But then, of course, big thank you to the sponsors that make this all happen. Of course, St. Clair College, the Zekelman School of Business and Information Technology, St. Clair College Alumni Association, the St. Clair SRC, and Subway and Tim Hortons for supporting us here on the St. Clair Saints varsity esports team. Also, big thank you to Kermit once again for joining me here on the caster's desk. Not only today, but I think I'll be seeing you tomorrow as well for at least a little bit anyway for that nice CCA wildcard event.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm going out tomorrow night, so we're going out to the races. So I don't know how much I'll be able to cast tomorrow, but I'll be here. And also thanks to Danners for casting beside me and running the stream. That's really impressive doing both of those at the same time. So props to him.
So you're going to the races, okay, everybody? I definitely apologize, but the stream has been canceled for tomorrow. I'm hopping in the Kermit's truck. No, I'm just kidding, but nonetheless, we'll take a look real quick at what this schedule has in store. Of course, we were kind of referencing a little bit earlier, and we're going to be starting things off with Illinois. I think Illinois Wesleyan Esports for the CCA Wildcard Tournament. Single elimination. We just need to make it into the top 8, and I think there's 16 teams. So I think it's something along the lines of winning 3 games in a row, and our St. Clair Saints Green roster would also get the chance of getting into the Summer Series playoffs alongside our Gold Squad. Speaking of the Gold Squad, on Wednesday and Thursday, that is the CCA Summer Series regular season for Gold, going up against Northwood University. Of course, one of the always thorns on our side. And then on Thursday, we have another one. This one up against Seton Hall. Haven't gotten the chance to play them yet, but they look pretty solid. So it's definitely going to be a good match in its own right. Then, next weekend coming up, definitely have ourselves a lot of Rocket League. Not quite sure of the order of operations, because not only do we see here we have the Summer Series playoffs, but we also have the OCRS playoffs. Both set to start at noon on both Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to be busy that weekend, so we'll have to see how that one goes, because it's going to be an absolute banger. Of course, make sure you're followed here on the channel so you don't miss any of the Rocket League action. And for everybody else itching for maybe something a little bit other than Rocket League, you don't have to wait too much longer, I promise. I know if there's a couple other leagues coming around the corner, including Call of Duty. So hang on tight. We have some more action constantly coming here, and it's not even the regular season of the school year yet. So again, unless there's any final thoughts, Kermit, I think we're all set to close out for tonight.
Yeah, and maybe you'll see me on a caster's desk for COD or another
Give it a
title.
shot,
But
man.
yeah, you never know. I might enjoy it as much as I enjoy this, but other than that, it's congrats to McGill University. They put on a show, and it was great.
I mean, thinking about casting COD, I mean, there's still plenty of shots, it's still just as chaotic, and it's still very fast. So, I mean, that's 3 points down, right?
Yeah.
Definitely same games. You got this. No, obviously completely different, but I'm sure you do just fine. But nonetheless, we'll call it a night here until tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. Again, congratulations to McGill, getting it 3-2 over Saints after a very, very epic battle. Good games all around, and we'll pick up where we left off tomorrow in the CCA wildcard. Thank you, everybody, and have a good night.